I'm Harrison Keeley. Here's what you need to know today. First, Volkswagen's board is meeting today to discuss who will be the next CEO. The company is expected to name Matthias Mueller to the job. He runs VW's Porsche unit. Meanwhile, ex-CEO Martin Winterkorn may get a severance package worth more than $65 million. At least 27 states, including Alabama and Tennessee, are opening an investigation into the company. Also, the EPA plans to change the way it tests for diesel emissions after getting duped for 7 years. The agency indicates future tests will be done on-road and not just in the lab. Several Chattanooga area residents have filed lawsuits against Volkswagen. Governor Bill Haslam says he's been assured by VW that nothing has changed for the company's Chattanooga plant. A Jackson County, Alabama man has been found guilty of murdering his first wife. 46-year-old Barry Van Weyden was charged in the 1997 slaying of 28-year-old Michelle Weyden. She was reportedly planning to divorce her husband. Attorneys say he dug her grave in the weeks leading up to the murder. Prosecutors say he repeatedly bludgeoned his wife with a shotgun, then cut her face, throat, and stabbed her in the chest. It didn't take long for a jury to find him guilty. Weyden will be sentenced at a later date. He's also a suspect in the disappearance of his second wife and her daughter in 2007. Chattanooga police have identified the driver who swerved off the road and killed a runner. 58-year-old Valerie Bray was driving on Moccasin Bend Road Saturday when 28-year-old Cameron Bean was hit. Bean was one of the top runners in the country. Bray says she didn't see him because the sun was in her eyes. The investigation is ongoing. A 6-year-old girl is in critical condition after a head-on crash in Harrison. Investigators say 31-year-old Michael Watkins drifted out of his lane and hit a Ford Thunderbird. The Thunderbird was carrying Annette Chinkus, Kimberly Furman, and the girl. All three were taken to the hospital. Police say none of the women were properly restrained. A Chattanooga man is charged with attempted murder after a teen showed up at Erlanger, shot in the head. Police believe Osei Sorrell opened fire at 19-year-old Kadarius Johnson near Dodson Avenue Wednesday. Sorrell is being held on a $225,000 bond. Johnson suffered a serious injury, but is expected to survive. More than 100 people have filed complaints about a Cleveland cemetery. Ralph Buckner Funeral Home recently ran an ad asking people to contact it with complaints about Sunset Memorial Gardens. The cemetery has been fined after decomposing human remains were linked to odors at the mausoleum. Buckner says another 150 people have requested complaint forms to be sent to them. He expects to submit up to 400 complaints to the state next month. The Chattanooga Heroes Fund has raised more than $1 million. The fund supports the families of those killed or wounded in the July 16th attack. The U.S. Women's World Cup team auctioned their jerseys, contributing more than $60,000. The fund will stop taking donations at the end of the month. The Tennessee sheriff is refusing to remove the phrase, "In God We Trust," from his patrol cars. The Freedom from Religion Foundation sent Henderson County Sheriff Brian Duke a letter asking him to remove the motto. He replied with a one-word answer: no. A new report says Tennesseans have the second worst diabetes rate in America. Nearly a third of the volunteer state's residents are overweight, and 13%, nearly 600,000 people, suffer from diabetes. The Hamilton County School Board has voted for 6 more aging football stadiums to be inspected. The vote comes after East Ridge High School Stadium was condemned last month. The votes are in for the annual Best of the Best Awards. Julie Bumgardner has been named Best Chattanoogan. The Hamilton County School Board has named a new chairman. Jonathan Welch was voted in 6-3 to replace George Ricks. Finally, unemployment in Dalton has fallen to the lowest level in more than 7 years. The city's jobless rate is now at 6%. Turning to weather, we'll see rain today with a high near 70 degrees. Tonight's low will be around 64. That's it for today's news. Thanks for being with us. You can find more on these stories and breaking news at timesfreepress.com.